Round 11 of Season 17 in Division 2 takes us to Imola, the San Marino Grand Prix, for what will hopefully be a very, very exciting race. An old school track, very narrow, difficult to overtake, but a track that I think in league racing always delivers a very good show, especially in a division like Division 2. There's quite a few potential corners where you could make some mistakes, where you could go off the track, get a track limits penalty, or worse. In terms of the weather, I am seeing clear skies right now. We'll see what the drivers have to say, if there's any rain on the way for tonight's race. I think a dry Imola is difficult enough, in my opinion. But from a commentator's point of view, I will never complain if there's rain. You can believe that. We've got a 16-car grid for tonight's race. One new main driver, Pocho, is back from his his break. He didn't race throughout August, but now he has taken a main seat with Marcelio, unfortunately having to drop out for likely the rest of the season. I think Marcelio, if my math is right, based on what he said, he'll be back start of next season at some point. Just a little bit busy right now, moving houses. And yeah, Pocho has taken the seat in the V Cup. Apart from that, we have got reserves in the Ferrari in Bobrino racing Lanky. We've got a new face in the league, Nemesis, not the Nemesis we had in Division 1 back in the day, and in the commentary box with me as well back in the day in Division 2. It's a different Nemesis, who is racing in the Alpine for tonight in place of... whose place is he actually taken? I forgot. Well, in place of Kuko. My head is gone. So yeah, and also a big driver missing this race, Kuko. One of the chasing drivers in the standings. We have got an all-dry race, unfortunately. In my opinion, at least. Fortunately for some, I would imagine. And yeah, I'm very excited to see still how this is gonna go. We've got the first cars out on track. I believe that is the Williams? Or what cars are coming to the final corner? There we go. Pix. Pix is the first one, starting a lap. It's got a bit of traffic coming out the pit lane there. Hopefully that won't be a problem for him. But I think it'll be fine. Before we do anything in this stream, I already apologize to the many Italians in this division for my pronunciation of the corner names. They are gonna be absolutely awful, and I do not care to improve. So yeah, you get an apology, but no improvement. So yeah, Pigs, already through Tamburello, now into the Variante Villeneuve. Taking loads of the curb on the apex there, has to be, of course, very aggressive on the track limits. It's worth mentioning, I have actually not driven this track since the recent track limit changes, which made the track limits a lot stricter in this F125 game. So I'm actually unsure yeah, what the track limits look like right now. If it's maybe back to F124 levels of like overly strict around Imola, or if it's still how it was pre-patch, where you could take the utter piss on every corner. I suppose we'll see throughout this race how that goes. Or if it's just somewhere in the middle, which I guess is most likely. Pix coming up to his teammate Sean here at the end of the lap, getting rid of the dirty air through these last two corners. But it does mean, of course, he does get a bit of a tow down to the line. And we've got a 15.989, the first lap of the session from Pix. A Ferrari over the last two corners. That is Bobrino, reserving for Lanky Brown. And you've got a 1:14.851, 1.1 seconds clear of Pix. Then Viral goes second fastest, 15.942. Next across the line, Ossie, but he's invalidated. After that, we've got the Haas of Garbri, the only the only driver representing Haas in today's race. Flavors unable to make it, and no reserve for him. Garbri, two more corners to go. The two Saubers also close behind him, Always and Pub Dog. Garby burning all of his battery down towards the line here, of course, and that's a 1:14.680 new fastest time in this session from Barry. Pubdog 15.125, and then always 15.331, third and fourth for the Sauber boys. Sully abandoning the lap he's currently on. Sean around the final corners. What has he got for us? Is he able to break into that front row? It's a 15.373 from Sean. That's only enough for P5. He'll be hoping for more further down the session for sure. Aussie with another invalidation. We've got Guga on a run coming through the Tamburello. Apart from that, Sully on another lap as well. Down the main straight right now. And that is, I think, it. So we'll stay with Guga for the moment. A driver who's been there or thereabouts, especially in the qualifyings these last couple of weeks. He's been up there. In general, Alpine with a very strong season, both Kuko and Guga. Today, Guga representing, well, not alone, Nemesis has taken Kuko's place, but in terms of the main drivers, Guga has been left alone by Kuko. That was a really, really good chicane there. That has gained him for sure a bit of time, I would say, through the Variante Alta. And now down towards the Rivazza, the double left, 17 and 18. Loads of curb used to make the track, well, as short as humanly possible. And down to the line for Guga. That looked to be a good lap. And that is a good lap, a 14.312 by Guga. 3/10 faster than the fastest time of the session set so far from Gabri. Sully, he did a 26.9 early on the lap he abandoned, and now he's improved to a 15.470. That's only P7 for our current championship leader. Some work to do for Sully here for sure. Pocho on his return to Division 2. What has he got for us? Coming towards the Rivazzas as well now. Apart from that, we've got Nemesis on the lap. Have to keep an eye on him. Aussie on another one on the same set of tires. That tire now on its third hot lap, with what I presume is some cooldown laps in between as well. Pocho over the line, 15.317. That's enough for 5th position, but it's a full second behind Guga. Right now, Guga looking very, very strong. We've got Aussie through the last two corners as well now. And he's going to finish this lap, his first valid lap of the session. That is enough for P11, the slowest time in the session so far. 16.56 tenths of picks. And I think the issue there is with the tire mainly. It's just run out of life. Nemesis down to the line. That's a 16.216 from Nemesis. It's enough for P11. He's beaten Aussie. But he's still, well, just over 2 tenths away from picks there in P10. Mihai, driver who's shown some great qualifying pace on occasions. But we all know Mihai, he's got a nice crash in him as well sometimes. So what's he got for us today? I think we can give a first guess in exactly 1 corner's time. Looked a bit messy through the last 2 corners, I would say. Missed the apex in the first Ravazza and then but also in the second, a 15.451 from Mihai. Well, I was going to say down an 8, but he's between Sean and Sully. He's in very good company there. But, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I thought Mihai would be further up the field. Viral on a second hot lap now as well. 15.942 his previous best. 5 tenths to the next car up ahead. His teammate Sully in 9th. Red Bull with, yeah, a lot of work to do in this qualifying session to get up that field. They need to be near the front. Sully can't allow himself, especially with Gabri up in 2nd place right now, his closest rival in the championship. He can't be allowing Gabri back into it. He can't make it interesting. Viral, 3.5 tenths gain in the first 2 sectors. And that's a bit too much curb on the first part of the Variante Alta, and that's an invalidation for Viral. The lap will not count. Phantom on another run with 9 minutes left to go in qualifying here. The Ferrari man on his first lap. The other Ferrari man, Bobrino, going lawn mowing. Coming out of the Variante Alta. So no improvement for him this time around. Viral back to the pits. Phantom also with an invalidation at the first complex of corners at the Tamburello. And with that we currently have got no one on a hot lap. Bobrino starting another one. 14.851 his previous best. Now he's on used tires. It's a bit tough to beat for him, but we'll see what he's got. It is just under 2/10 to Gabri. But that didn't look great through turn 1. He braked on the grass there on the entry. Of course, that gave him a bit of understeer. Surprised he had to get the car pointed in the right direction, but the way he's attacking these curves, the way he's cutting them, absolutely beautiful. Using all the track to perfection on the inside there. But I'm still not sure. I think despite that, he's still gonna have lost in the first sector. Let's have a look at the sector times. Not showing up. Yeah, there we go. He's still with what looked like a really, really good, especially Villeneuve, I would say, was a great. Also in the second part of Tom Rilo, he hit that really nicely. But it wasn't enough. Okay, we've now got a bit of time gain. 2/10 compared to the previous best, and that looked really, really committed and really fast over that chicane. Not sure what the exit though, because he was on the throttle quite late. We'll see. 2 more corners to go for Bob. He's keeping a bit of throttle in the car throughout the entire braking zone, which is interesting technique. I'm not quite sure why he's doing that. Maybe he can explain it to us at some point. That is a 14.342. It's clearly working for him. A 5/10 improvement on used tires. Bob 30,000 spare Guga. Pub Dog just jumped to 4th place as well. That is 4th driver now in the 114s. Sully on another run, our championship leader, keep an eye on him. Picks a 10th down after the middle sector. And that's, well, a very clear invalidation as he takes way too much curb. PC really over the line. The 29.0, that wasn't the mandate lap, he'll have to go again. Phantom Fox, 24.1 first sector. Bazooka up ahead of him, also on a push lap, hopefully. Bazooka, I think he's far enough away. And Phantom with invalidation now out on the exit of Akram and Arali. Quite unnecessary, I would say. It felt like he had the car under control. He could have been a bit more to the right there, really. And, yeah, not gotten himself into that trouble. But, of course, you want to have the exit as straight as possible to get as much, yeah, momentum and straight line speed down towards the chicane. For Bazooka, that is a 16.194. It's enough for P12. Sully has just jumped into 4th place, a 14.834. A big improvement, but still he's 4/10 behind Gabri. Only 1 position though, so I'm not sure we will care too much about those 4/10s. But that is a big margin. We've got 1 more quality laps to go for all of those guys at the front, I would say. Sean, currently 8th, improves to a 14.840, 6,000 behind Sully, jumps into top 5. Guga invalidated on this run. PC would jump to 9th place in the 15.3, a full second though, behind Guga in pole position. 3rd in the championship, 9th in qualifying right now. PC Wooly needs to get further up the field for sure. Bazooka with an invalidation on this run, Nemesis on another hot lap as well. Currently 14th on his debut in F1 Total here, 16.216. And that looked quite good for Akam Rally, very controlled. We've got a 4 and a bit 10th improvement in that middle sector. And that could bring him around viral Aussie sort of range, just outside the top 10. Maybe he's got a bit more time gain in the final, but he's run out of EAS already. That could cost him time all the way down to the line, of course. As he is below 10%, the EAS will be using less of the deployment. And over the line, that is a 15.785. That's enough for P12. But 50,000 behind Aussie in 11th. 1 more lap to go for both of them, I would say. Let's see if he can improve on that on the last round once more. Pocho on a hot lap as well. Currently 8, 15.317. A full second off pole, the Italian here. What's he got for us? I didn't see the split times, unfortunately, so I've just let myself be surprised. 41,000 gain, stays in P8. So Pocho, not with a big gain at all. Viral with an invalidation. Phantom Fox with a fresh tire on an outlap now with 4 minutes to go. Nemesis also with an invalidation through Akram Rally, but I think he's just on an in-lap. Don't think he'll be doing 2 back-to-back laps with that low EAS that he had as he came over the line. Traffic jam in the McLaren garage. That's Aussie being waiting for PC Wooly, as PC Wooly is being pushed in. Thankfully they still have plenty of time left to get out one more time, and this won't cost them anything. Both Ferraris out early, Bombardino and Phantom Fox. Apart from that, we've got Pocho out on track right now. As he just finished a lap, he's going back to the pit lane. He should get one more lap in as well. Yeah, he's got time to get into the pits and back out easily. Now, the Ferraris could be in a bit of trouble now if some guys come out the pit lane right now. They may have one of the Haas cars, of course, that's Gabri. I think Phantom will be fine, he'll only have Gabri in front of him. Bovernio might be in a bit more trouble with traffic. But we'll see if they have timed this well. Phantom has. And Bobodinho, I think there's no movement in the pit lane, so I think he's also fine. Phantom coming up the back of Gabri though. Very good first cut in the Tamburello. Gabri lets him pass very nicely, and Bobodinho did get out ahead of the traffic very nicely as well for him. And through the first couple of corners, really committed. 14.34 to his previous best, and I think that's almost certainly a good amount of time gain in the first sector. We saw him on the previous lap braking on the grass. Surely it's cost him loads of time this time around. Yeah, 3/10 up is Bombardino. One hell of a first sector. Phantom with another invalidation. Come on, Phantom. The one time I see you actually doing qualifying and you're invalidating left, right and center. Viral out of the session in the pit lane. Doesn't want to go out again. He's down in P30. Doesn't he want to try again? Or is he running out of tires? I've got no clue. Bombardino really committed through Akam and rally. Still 3/10 gained. Oh, look at that perfect use of track limits. Bombardino with one hell of a lap here. With 2 minutes left to go in qualifying, I think we are about to see the lap that will be pole position. Unless someone else can pull out an absolute miracle, Bombardino with an absolutely perfect lap, I must say. Wow. 13.958. Bombardino puts himself on provisional pole position. I have to say provisional. There is still a lot of people going around. Gabri just coming from the first corner, but he's got loads of traffic on this lap here. And for sure that will be an issue. Even if they get out the way nicely, it's still distracting, still something to worry about. And that wasn't good. He missed the apex by a mile through Villeneuve. And he's 2/10 down. Gabri, I'm fairly certain, will not beat Bobberding. You have to gain 6/10 through the last 2 sectors now. That is just not going to happen, especially as he's running into traffic once more. That's Guga up ahead of one of the Ferraris. Guga with Phantom Fox, and I think Phantom Fox probably on, yeah, cooldown lap to get one more in right into death. Gabri coming up the back of them now. Hopefully they get out of the way. There's Guga out of the way. What's Phantom doing? Has he spotted Gabri? Does he know Gabri's in the push lap? Right now Gabri a bit of a slipstream. Could help him a little bit. Down to the last 2 corners into Reversa, braking at about 75 meters. Gets the car rotating into the apex very aggressively. The rear stepping out on him under braking. And for Gabri, that is enough for a 14.632, not even an improvement at the end. Gabri will be P3 at best. PC will be on another run right into death. Of course, Phantom Fox with one more run. Guga, one more run as well. What is Sully good for? Starting it up right at the end. Sean, 2/10 up, but he invalidates through Akamanavali. Sean is done. He will not make the line for another run. Pub Dog not in the push lap right now. Always in 8th. Coming to the end of a lap, Pocho with a small improvement in Sector 1. Bazooka with the crash. Just ahead of Always there, coming out of Akamanavali. Ossi, Mihai, Nemesis, Bombardino are done. Viral Bazooka also done. I see a couple cars coming out to the line. That Sean is in the pits. Pix currently in 14th as the Williams goes over the line. He stays in 14th. Always currently in 7th. 15.123. Can he break into the 114th? Can he beat his teammate maybe? What has Always got for us? 15.034. It's improvement, but not enough to move up in position. PC Evoli. A full second gain. PC Evoli. 14.395 jumps into the top 3. Phantom Fox with 1 lap right into death. Enough for P9, it's something at least for him. We've got an Alpine over the line, that's Guga, but he stays in 2nd place. Pocho, is he going to improve loads at the end? Yes, he is, jumps into the top 5. Sully, has he got something for us? The championship leader, surely more than P6 is possible for him. Over the line, it's enough for the top 5. He's just about beats Pocho there to the top 5. Garby, the only car still going around, but he is going slowly, and that means qualifying is over, and Bobodinho takes pole position here in Imola with, yeah, an absolutely storming lap. 113.958. 3/10 clear to Guga in the end. If we have a look at the gap, yeah, 3.5 tenths to Guga with a 14.312. It's very close then. Peacevely 14.395, less than the 10 for Guga and Peacevely. Exactly 20 thousandths to Garby, 14.415. Then there's a bit of a gap between Garby and Sully in terms of the time. Sully 3/10 back from him in 5th position, a 14.729. Then we've got Pocho on a 14.816, less than the 10th behind Sully. Sean, 24 thousandths behind Pocho in 7th, 14.840. And then 99 thousandths to Pupdog in 8th place, 14.939. Then Always right behind his teammate, he is in 9th, the first driver outside the 114th, well apart from Bobodinho. Always 115.034. Then Phantom Fox rounds at the top 10 with a lap right at the end there, 15.253. Then Aussie, less than half a tenth behind with a 15.304. 1.5 tenths behind that, Mihai, 15.451 in 12th. Nemesis on his debut in 13th, 15.795. Viral, 15.844 in 14th. And we've got Pix in 15th, 15.999. And finally, Bazooka rounds out the grid on a 16.194. That was qualifying for Imola. Now we've got a bit of downtime. In terms of strategy, I think it's a one-stop because the pit lane is very, very long. So I think I don't know about the tire wear numbers because I haven't had a race around here yet. I've only done time trial. When the game came out, it was one of the tracks I decided I would put some time into. Just lapping time trials, so I kind of know the track from that, but I have not raced it. So I've got no clue about strategies. But I'm fairly certain with how much time loss there is in the pit lane that the two-stop will not be viable. But we'll see what the game says. If the game maybe disagrees with me, but I think even if a one-stop is only possible with tire management, which of course the game does not calculate in, so it might tell you it's impossible, and then you just manage that it's possible. It is definitely the better decision in my opinion, in my prediction, to manage the tire, to drive slowly, to drive carefully, to make a one-stop possible rather than going for a two-stop. We'll see. Of course, safety cars, red flags, they are enabled. We've not had one yet. Hopefully we'll get one at some point. It'll be fun. Yeah, could throw all of that upside down, so we will see how it goes throughout the race, I reckon. So yeah, formation lap gets underway. Bobodinho on the right hand side, Guga on the left, then behind that Peacevely and Gabri. Mostly mediums. We've got two hards there, Nemesis and Bazooka. Everybody else opting for the normal strategy, the simple strategy. Game predicting 2 or 3 stops, you are mad. If anyone 3 stops, I'm sacking you from the league. Brainless. No way people 3 stop. 2 stop is always a stretch, I would say. And I don't think you need a 2 stop. But we'll see. Maybe the tire wear is that bad. But I highly doubt it. That it's actually worth the 30-second or so time loss in the pit lane. So yeah. For now though, no strategy talk. We'll get some nice racing on this first lap. Like I said, Bobodinho on the right, Guga on the left. It's the 4 red lights. There we go, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. Here in Imola, Bobodinho gets away decently, I think. Guga did not really pull alongside there on the X, and Bobodinho completely cleared down towards turn 1. No, Guga being attacked by Peacevely down towards turn 1. Peacevely on the inside line, gonna break as late as he possibly can. Guga tries banging around the outside of Traverse, turns to the inside for the second part. Now around the outside to turn 3. Now Gabriel gets involved, 3 wide, down towards Tamburello. Surely this can't work. Guga pulls ahead. Always is already out. The 2 Saubers with a collision on the first lap. It seems Pupdog and Always both way off the pack. Always out of the race. No safety car. The race keeps going. Just no flag. But that is a nightmare for the Sauber team. Meanwhile, Bobodinho a full second clear of Guga already. What a start he's having. Guga held position against Peacevely and Gabri. No movement within the top 6, I think. Then Phantom, he moved up to 7th with a great start there. Of course, benefiting from that collision ahead of him with the 2 Saubers. Aussie, Sean, Nemesis bounce to the top 10. Under attack from Mihai though. Viral not far behind also. Look at that. Mihai looking up the inside, but it's a bit too far back to think about any sort of send into the chicane, especially that chicane. That would be absolute suicide. Bobodinho, wow, 1.5 seconds clear already. And look at Guga, fully locking the rear tire and drifting into the corner. F123 style. Bazooka and Pigs with a duel for the last 2 corners, and then it's Bazooka who comes on top as he has the inside line. Jesus Christ. How fast was I talking on that opening lap? Sean, into the pits. He seems to pick up some damage as well. Maybe he was involved in that collision with the Saubers. And we've got a wing change and a swap onto the hard compound for Sean. Poggio in chase of his Italian compatriot Sully, two having been, well, quite familiar with each other in F1 Total. They've been around forever, both of them. Since like Season 2, Season 3, the two of them I think. Now in Division 2, Sully a champion. Poggio has been, well, he's been up there, but he's never really consistently showed up, I would say. He always has his breaks. Not really enjoying the game all too much in recent years, but he's back and hopefully for good this time. Right now, chasing Sully for the top 5. He's got Phantom fairly far behind him, I would say. Not out of the DRS range, but seems to have him under control. Out front, Guga under big pressure from Pisivoli. Pisivoli, especially with Guga not having DRS, has a good chance here, I would say, to go for a move down towards the first corner. And there we go, Pisivoli with the DRS, drives past Guga like he's not even there, and claims second place. Gabri though too far away to follow through. Sully already struggling, over a second back from Gabri. He needs to get the pace on. Mihai with a move on 9th against Nemesis, a similar situation that we saw from Pisivoli and Guga. Just a fairly simple DRS pass, not a whole lot Nemesis can even do there. The overspeed from the DRS, of course, just too much to try and hold on against. Especially also with Nemesis starting on the hards. He's playing the long game. Might cost him a couple spots in these opening laps, but the race will spring back in his favor when he pits for the mediums, and everybody else, of course, has to pit for the hard. Assuming a normal one-stop strategy, that is, with a medium to hard or hard to medium being a norm. Poggio now struggling a little bit. He's over a second back from Sully. Sully himself back in DRS range. Pisivoli, he's picked up the pace quite a lot. He's already almost closed that gap that Bombardino built, and he hasn't even burned all that much ERS. Pisivoli bringing the fight to Bombardino. Bombardino was about 2 seconds back, I think, when Pisivoli made the move on Guga. Pisivoli didn't get the ERS this lap, but what a lap that is, 17.701. He's almost dropped Guga out of the ERS. Guga under big pressure from Gabri there, and Gabri pulls out the slipstream to the right hand side and drives past Alpine on the outside, claims the podium position for himself. Nemesis gets back past Mihai for 9th. It's a swap once more, second lap in a row this time. Nemesis, like I said, past Mihai. DRS, making it possible for him, even with the harder tires, to re-overtake. And there's another collision, that's Pigs! Pigs is round at the Variante Villeneuve. Unfortunately, I am not sure what happened. I only just saw him spinning in the peripheral vision. Not sure how that happened. Phantom got past Poggio for P6, the top 5. Right now, breaking away a little bit. Phantom and Poggio got their work cut out to try and integrate themselves into this battle for the lead. Damn, there's a lot going on in chat. Hello people, why are there so many people watching? I've not looked at chat once throughout qualifying. Top 7 back together, Phantom and Poggio in DRS range to each other, and Phantom to Sully. But they are low on DRS, they're gonna have to hope that maybe Bovodinho has to tire save a little bit. I think he pushed quite hard in those opening laps, and he might be paying the price for it now. Viral to the outside of Mihai, down into the Tamburello. And he claims 10th position, the final points paying position in this race. Nemesis, I think that might have been the track that morning. Mihai coming back at Viral into Villeneuve, surely not backed out, yeah. And despite backing out, he still keeps his nose in there, and that was a bit clumsy, I would say, from Mihai. And of course, if you've not got your foot in the door, you're gonna get shot on you, so might as well get out. And that is Mihai's race. Well, pretty significantly damaged, I would say. As he is dropped behind Pigs, now dueling over P13. Pub Dog, meanwhile, on his comeback drive, he's caught back up to this battle for the points. He's in the train with Nemesis, Viral and Bazooka now. Out front, Peaceably, he is very, very close behind Bobodinho. Might be about to see a swap for the lead here. Peaceably burning overtake, now the DA is enabled. I think he's got him here. I don't think Bobodinho can do much about this one. He releases Peaceably inside line open, he tries with the overtake button, but it's just not possible. Peaceably into the lead of the Grand Prix. Now, Bobodinho, can he counter on the next lap? Is he going to sit behind Gabri? Where are you going, Gabri? Gabri! What? It's a flat-out corner. It can't be that hard. He's just fully underset off track there. Maybe caught out massively by the dirty air. I think thankfully for him the front wing hasn't been broken. But that's, yeah, really, really clumsy and an uncharacteristical mistake from Gabri. Not something you usually see him doing. Just through a flat-out corner, turn 3 of Imola. It, yeah, just goes completely straight. Never seen anything like that. And it's cost himself, yeah, quite a crucial podium position there. He's now down to 6th place. His championship rival Sully, who he has to make up 50 points on over these last couple of races. Well, he's now ahead of him. Meanwhile, Peaceably almost out of the EAS range for Bobodinho, and he's cruising. Look at the EAS on him. Bobodinho, meanwhile, he's been pushing quite hard, it seems, at least on the overtake button. Guga has fallen away. Bobodinho and Peaceably in control of this Grand Prix right now. Sully is too far away. He's not going to make any sort of move this lap at least. Has to recharge from EAS before that. Aussie has been caught by Nemesis. We've got a duel brewing for 8th place. No DRS for Nemesis, but still, it seems to be enough with the overspeed. Nemesis now to the outside into turn 1 there. Side by side, Nemesis goes very deep. I think he was a little bit spooked there. Maybe he was scared Aussie would leave him space. And that's cost him position to Bazooka. Just, yeah, Nemesis going very, very deep on the brakes. Has he picked up some damage on the front end plate? I think he has. I can't see the second pink end plate, yeah. Nemesis missing a piece of the front wing on the right hand side. Impacting his performance, of course. You can't say that. You can't. No. You can't say that. No one saw that. Peaceably, this time around, Bobodinho a bit closer, but look at the ES again, Peaceably on 80%. Absolutely chilling out front. Gabri has caught back up the Phantom, as he tries to make his comeback in this Grand Prix. And that should be a simple move this time around to DRS on this very long straight. There's only one DRS though, but it's a very long one. And that makes it easy for Gabri. Viral with a pit stop on lap 8 and a 10-second speeding penalty, and I'm pretty sure it's a 2-stop as well. So Viral, that's your race over. That's simple. I mean, speeding penalty and a 2-stop. That's a 40-second pit, 40-second loss in the pit lane now. Have fun trying to make that up in the last 24 laps. Essentially, he needs he needs to gain 2 seconds a lap from here over everybody else to make this 2-stop work. That's just not gonna happen. Sully has fallen away from Guga. Gabri closing in on Sully. He's pulling Phantom with him. There's quite a big gap after Pocho. There's a 6.5 second gap from the top 7 to the bottom 8 from Bazooka and downwards. Viral now with a 3-second penalty for track limit as well. The first track limits penalty on lap 8. I thought it would come a lot earlier than that. So I'm positively surprised by the driver's ability to stay within the white lines today. Gabri, of course, he has to be aggressive to get back towards the podium. And there he goes, sailing past Sully. Takes 4th place back in this race. And that could of course be crucial. That is... Oh! Guga! Guga goes off! With a similar mistake to Gabri in the same corner. For Gabri it was understeer, Guga oversteered. The car just went out on him. On the exit of turn 3, no dirty air, nothing, just completely out of nowhere. The rear couldn't handle it. And with that, Gabri back into the podium places. Sully on his heel. Guga dropping down to 6th position. He's rejoined the race just ahead of Poggio, which I think is also exactly where Gabri ended up when he had his spin. So Poggio just seems to be like the safety net for these people. The top two by now 4 seconds clear. Unbelievable stuff. Pisivoli and Bobodinho in a league of their own today. But Gabri, he passed Sully last lap. I think he was about to be overtaken because Sully is very close coming into the Razza. The EAS is a slight advantage for Gabri, but I think the DRS will more than make up for that. So here we go. Sully with a nice run down towards turn 1. Second as well, the front from Pisivoli to Bobodinho. Keep an eye on that gap. Pisivoli might be about to break the DRS gap. Gabri holds on against Sully. Sully not enough straight line speed to get alongside the Haas. Poggio with a move for 6th, gets past Guga. After the earlier mistake, Guga falling into the clutches of Poggio and now falling behind him. In the duel for the bottom points paying positions, Ossi struggling to hold on to Nemesis, the medium showing a lot of wear at this point, I think. Nemesis himself chasing after Bazooka, the two hard runners. Really coming into their own now, I would say. Yeah, look at Ossi there with a lot of oversteer. Sean, after his first lap pit stop, well, he's up in 14th, now he passed Rival, and now he goes into the gravel. 6.5 seconds behind his teammate Pix. Tough day ahead of him if he wants to score some points here. Bobodinho, he's dropped out of the EAS range to Pisivoli. And Pisivoli, look at the EAS! Unbelievable! How has he got so much EAS? And so much pace? Bobodinho with the undercut though. Lap 11. And Gabri dives in as well. Gabri, I think, was about to be overtaken by Sully. And we've got hearts for Bobodinho. What have we got for Gabri? That is also a set of the hearts as well. Guga in. And he comes in for hearts. Nemesis in. Off the hearts. So 2 substantially, I'm fairly certain, from Nemesis. And he's gonna go with a double stack as well behind Guga. Onto the mediums. Ossi in off the mediums, also a fashion of hearts. So loads of people pitting on the same lap there. And it's quite crucial that you don't get into much traffic. Gabri's come out fairly close behind me, and that could be a problem. Bobodinho's got 9 seconds of clean air. That's absolutely perfect for his undercut against Pisivoli. Here we have Ossi, Nemesis, Pix, all in clean air. Phantom, a 3-second time penalty for him. Multiple track limit warnings. And that is going to hinder his ability to battle for the podium places. Pisivoli doesn't respond to the undercut. He goes longer. Same goes for Sully. Phantom is in. As Ossi picks up a 3-second penalty. And for Phantom, it's a set of the hearts as well. Pop Dog also still staying out, going quite long on those mediums. And here we've got Gabri. Is he gonna come out ahead of Phantom? He should. You think he was ahead earlier. Phantom crawling to the pit exit. There's Gabri. And back there, that's Guga River. Guga, I think he's also got the undercut on Phantom. Yes, he has. Guga up into 8th out on track. The top 5 yet to pit. So I would say probably 5th. I think he'll be ahead of Poggio, but behind Sully. Mihai coming out of the pit lane. Just behind Pix in 15th position now. Lap 12. Pisivoli, is he in this lap? What's the gap to Bobodinho? Is it coming down? And Bobodinho with a 3-second penalty! And that's absolutely crucial. Bobodinho was the only one in this race really putting up a fight against Pisivoli. And with that 3-second penalty, he's made it all so much harder for himself. Sully is in. Poggio is following him in as well. Bazooka, of course, staying out in the hearts. He has to go long. Pop Dog also still staying out. Papdog and Piscivoli, the last ones left on the mediums from the start. And of course, Sully onto center parts, and the same goes for Pocho. Where are they gonna come out? We've got Bombardino, of course, miles clear. Gabri comes out ahead of Sully. Guga comes out ahead of Sully by a margin. Sully, well, not even that far ahead of Viral. Pocho, this could be a problem for him. He comes out in traffic. He's behind Sean and Viral on their, well, slightly used tires. Sean pitted on the first lap. Viral pitted a couple of laps ago. Viral on the two-stop strategy here. Bombardino coming up to the back of Papdog. The gap to lead at this point down to just 22 seconds, so he will come out significantly ahead of Piscivoli, but then Piscivoli have a tire advantage all the way until the end of the race, and, of course, with Bombardino's time penalty to be added on at the end, that'll make it even more difficult. Piscivoli in for Ascent of the Hearts. That means Bazooka will take the lead of this race for the time being. Papdog under attack right now from Bombardino, but Papdog goes into the pit lane, pits on the same lap as Piscivoli. That's everybody who started on the mediums, now off the mediums. Bombardino, of course, comes out in second place. We've got Piscivoli. Is he actually going to fall into the clutches of Gabri? I think he just about comes ahead. Yes, that was very well timed by Piscivoli. One more lap, he would have certainly been behind Gabri. And this, of course, could be quite important to have this clean air. 5 seconds now. The gap to Bombardino. He needs to be within 3 seconds to win this race. With the 3-second time penalty of Bombardino. Viral. Now another time penalty. He's up to 16 seconds in this Grand Prix. There we have Pocho getting past him. Sean has a look up the inside through Tamburello, but that's not going to work out for him. Dirty air now quite extreme as well. Piscivoli, Gabri, Guga, all fairly close together, just about hovering in that 1 second range. Will they have DRS? Will they not? It's close to tell. Bombardino, 3 seconds to Bazooka, could run up to him before Bazooka pits, and that could become a problem for him as well if he loses some time behind him in the duel against Piscivoli here. Bombardino needs, I would say, a perfect race from here to the end of the Grand Prix to hold on to this win. Piscivoli has the tire advantage to drive up the back of him, I would say. And he doesn't even need to do that, he only needs to drive within 3 seconds of him. Duel brewing for 4th place here as well, Gabri and Guga. Fairly close together as Sean gets past Viral for 9th, but he makes a mistake and Viral slips right back through. Aussie coming up the back of Sean here. And that would be quite important for him to get up into the point-taking positions. Look how closely Aussie can follow even through the dirty air. The tire advantage very much playing a big effect here. You can see Sean is all over the place. He picks up a 3-second time penalty in the car. Just doesn't really wanna stay under control at all. Aussie looking for a way past Sean with a big wobble, and that gives Aussie the momentum to pull ahead on the inside. And of course, with the better tires, he can easily outbrake the Williams man, and he claims the position. Bombardino, meanwhile, he's getting past Bazooka for the lead of this Grand Prix. Out on track, Bazooka still yet to pit. Piscivoli 3 seconds back. The gap is being eaten into at a rate of knots. The question then is, Piscivoli, is he gonna get caught behind Bazooka? That could be crucial. How much longer? I mean, Bazooka, surely until at least lap 18 he has to go. If he wants to one stop here. Sully with pass on Phantom. Phantom, I think he's made a mistake that Gary made earlier. Went off at Tamburello. And Sean gets past Aussie. I think Papdog got past Nemesis also in the battle for 12th. Piscivoli, he's already on the back of Bazooka. I think he'll try and go for a move down towards turn 1. That would be quite a crucial one. He can't allow himself to be stuck behind Bazooka for a full lap. So he needs to get this right. I think he will. He's already fairly close with the S1 coming up. A 13 lap tire advantage. You would think PC when he has got this one. And Bazooka doesn't really have any big reason to try and defend here. All he's doing is risking his own race for a battle that's already lost. But I think he's trying it anyway. He's burning all Jake, but eventually he has to concede. And PC really rockets past on the inside. The gap to Bombardier now exactly 3 seconds. With 15 laps to go, and a 3-lap tire advantage in favor of PC. It looks to be very much PC race to lose here. As Pocho gets past Phantom Fox in the duel for 7th. Pop Dog picks up the fast lap of the race, a 16.861 as he's chasing after the points. Sean Mull and Aussie once more in the duel down towards turn 1. Sean on his old hearts not giving up. Phantom with another 3-second time penalty. Is second now, he's up to 6 seconds. Making his quest for a top 5 finish a lot harder. Guga and Gabri, look how close they are together here in the middle sector. Not a spot you usually see much battling. But a battle for what is the final podium spot definitely on here. But the problem for them is they've got Sully behind on slightly better tires. They have to keep an eye on him. If they are too locked into battling each other, Sully will certainly take that gift with open arms. And I'm sure Gabi will be aware of Sully in his mirror and will think, well, I can't allow that, I have to beat him for sure. He can't allow himself to lose any more points if he wants a shot of the championship win. Visibly right now, he's in a great spot. On his way to a crucial race win with Sully. Yeah, probably P5 with Bazooka pitting, and then maybe he can get Guga and Gabri. If everything goes perfectly for Sully here, he can get a podium. But the gap to PC and Bombardino is just too big, surely. And that could be a 10-point swing in favor of PC in PC worst case scenario right now. With the current situation. Yellow flags in the first sector, that's Viral, who's gone off at Tamburello. We keep seeing the same corner becoming a real problem for drivers, which I'm surprised. And Viral with big front wing damage. Entire front right side of the car missing there. Just the actual plank at the front that's left. All the winglets are completely shaved off on the Red Bull. It's a proper low downforce that one on this Red Bull. Gabri now so close behind Bazooka. Bazooka still not pitting. Going very, very long on these tires. But now the DRS. Gabri, Guga, Sully, all very close behind. Can all three of them get him at once? That would be quite something. Sully, he takes his opportunity to get past Guga. He's completely out of ERS. Gabri passes Bazooka. Sully can't get around Bazooka in time. Now he's so low on ERS. Can he get him into Villeneuve? Surely not. That's surely too risky. And Gabri will look back and he'll be absolutely loving this. He's seeing that gap increase to Sully. And Sully sends it up the inside. No! Sully, that wasn't on. A desperate move from Sully. Gets himself spun around. And he drops to 7th. Drops to 8 behind Van der Fox. Sully! One moment where he wasn't quite on it. Not 100% concentrated. A lapse in judgment. However you want to call it. Sully has ruined his own race there. And he's dropped down to 8th position. Van der Fox penalty means he does at the moment finish 7th. But those are crucial points he's just thrown away in this championship battle because he saw Gabri driving away, and I think he just saw red, essentially. He couldn't allow that, and yeah, I mean, considering how much Gabri gained on Guga in this lap, 3 seconds he is gone now. I see why Sully was so desperate, but that wasn't the way to do it. Bazooka now comes into the pits, finally. Finally. All of the medium starters will think he's out of our way. And he's gonna go to sort of mediums himself to try and chase after some guys. Get himself some points in this race. His race essentially really starts now. PC will leave 1.8 behind Bombardino, 7 seconds back to Gabri. Then Guga, Pocho in 5th with a Well, a bit of a calm race. Sully now with a time penalty. Further insult to injury for Sully. He's having a stinker. Here in front of the home crowd in Italy. Not what he needs whatsoever. And Gabri and Pisilli will think maybe there is still a chance. Maybe it's not over yet. Especially for Pisilli right now. He did finish P1, Sully did finish 6th. That's 8 points for Sully and 25 for Pisilli. A 17-point swing. And all of a sudden that gap, which I think for Pisilli to Sully, he's P3 in the standings. Pisilli is not that much. He's behind Gabri, but only by 1 or 2 points if I'm remembering correctly. I'll check it on Discord very quick. Not a lot going on the track anyway. Yeah, Sully 161, Gabri 108, Pisilli 107. So Pisilli 54 points behind Sully. Right now, a 17-point swing in Pisilli's favor. Of course, it means that gap is coming down to 37. And that seems a lot more manageable. 37. One more Sully stinker, and all of a sudden he could be within 25 points, and that means he would be in contention come the last race. And Sully with the same move he did earlier. Once again sent it late on the brakes. Phantom, he gave him lots of space, he jumped out of his way, but still Sully with no momentum on the inside couldn't even get the move done despite Phantom jumping out of his way. Guga is catching back up to Gabri. The battle for third not yet over. The battle for first, well, in terms of the result, it seems over Pisilli. Unless there is a time penalty looming. I mean, let's check Pisilli. What warnings do we have here? 0. Unbelievable, Pisilli. What a race he's having. So dominant on pace, not a single warning. Absolutely majestic stuff by Pisilli. And now he's in DRS to Bombardino. I think to get him on track as well. So he doesn't even need the 3-second time penalty. But he also doesn't need to pass him on track now with that penalty. He's got absolutely no pressure as well in terms of time. Gabri is never going to catch. That gap is simply too big. Nemesis back in the pits for his second stop of this Grand Prix. That will drop him, well, quite far towards the back. Coming out of the pits between Sean and Viral. Viral at this point I think is a lap down. Yeah, he's been lapped by Boborino and Pisilli. The race not going as well, not going his way one bit today. Pisilli with so much EIS now has got Boborino in his sights, and I think we're about to see a move for P1, and that will be the race decided because Boborino penalty and a pace advantage for Pisilli, which is quite apparent. The DRS enables the ERS being burned, and Bombardino can do nothing but watch Pisilli sail by into the lead of this race. He has done very, very well as Bombardino. He's having a great race. It's just not quite great enough for a race win. Pisilli showing his class here in Imola. Bombardino and Pisilli have absolutely left the field in the dust. And still, it seems like Pisilli is on another level to Boborino once more. Able to drive that pace without risking even a single warning. While Boborino with a 3-second time penalty and a big undercut on Pisilli also that he had to do to get back into the fight, as Pisilli I think had just dropped one of the DRS at the end of stint 1. And with only 9 laps to go now. Unless there is one more twist in this Grand Prix, that is Pisilli's race. From here to the flag. Guga. He dropped back 3 seconds at the one lap he was stuck behind Bazooka. Bazooka in the meantime, he's back in the points already. And not far behind Austin, who's got some time penalties over his head. Bazooka also then maybe pub dog is possible with his 6 seconds. Bazooka could probably bring on a P9, a P8 here. Be a very good result for the V-Count man. As he picks up a penalty himself, that makes it a little bit more difficult. And a yellow flag in Sector 2. That is Nemesis with a... No, that's Sean, sorry. Sean. I confused Williams and Alpine. Sean with a spin coming out of Acquamarali. His race already gone to shit on the first lap. And he's, yeah, only made it worse for himself there. Wasn't going to score points from the position he was in, most likely. And he's just smashed off his entire front wing. Thankfully, he's still in the race, but I'm not sure he'll want to finish it, because this pit stop will put him behind PC Willie, and Bombardino will put him a lap down. And that is essentially race over for him. As he picks up a 3-second time penalty, and the car just won't turn at this point, I imagine. And that could be the end of the evening for Sean. There we go, with tyres in the pit lane. No point in him continuing. Guga has caught Gabri. Both of them fairly low on the ES. They have been pushing. And a duel for third. For the podium spot. And a crucial duel as well in the championship fight. Gabri needs to make up points on Sully. Sully right now, is he... he's gonna beat Phantom. Just about. But Phantom, if he picks up the pace, if he can get out of the ES range, or if he can get out of 3-second range Sully, sorry, that would be a P7 for Sully, 6 points only. And a 19 points swing in favor of PC Willie. A 9-point swing in favor of Garby, assuming he finishes P3. And still 6 points if Garby finishes 4th. Phantom Fox himself catching up the back of Pocho. Getting himself some DAS would be crucial in these last couple of laps. To maybe help pull away from Sully. Battle for 6 very much still on, with Pocho having no penalties though. A P5 that Phantom and Sully are chasing here out on track. To actually get it in the result screen will be tough. PC really by now 3.5 seconds clear of Bombardino, who is not losing any time to Gabri, by the way. The pace from Bombardino and Gabri right now, roughly equal, slight favor, and slight advantage in favor of Bombardino. But PC really is, yeah, putting some incredible lap times into the tarmac to gap Bombardino at the depth of this Grand Prix. Guga fairly close behind Gabri. Has he got a run on him down towards turn 1? DS enabled, overtake being burned, closing in. Gabri covers the inside. Guga has to go to the outside. And they are going to be side by side down towards turn 1. Gabri on the inside, brakes early, and Guga swoops around the outside. Claims 3rd position in this Grand Prix. Has Gabri got an answer? Not right now, but maybe at the end of the lap, heading into lap 27. A duel for 3rd, definitely not over. Phantom passed Pocho out on track. Crucial, as he's trying to extend the gap to Sully to hold on to that P6. Bazooka with a move on Aussie for 9th. 10 seconds to Pub Dog. I think 9th will be the height for Bazooka here. The gap to Pub Dog a bit too big. Of course, 6-second hang over Pub Dog's head, so Bazooka only needs to be within 3 seconds, since he himself has 3 seconds. So he has to gain 7 seconds here in the next 6 laps. That seems a tough ask. Picks there fully sideways coming through Villeneuve. Bombardino, he's really slowing down now. 6.5 back from PC really. Guga has closed in 2 seconds in this lap. Oh, he's low on fuel! Minus 0.17. Okay, he's lifting coasting for fuel, I think. What's that? Minus, yeah, 0.17, 0.19. Just under minus 0.2. Gabri re-overtaking around the outside. Gabri back on the 3rd place. The duel for 3rd. Very much still on. Pocho not re-overtaking Phantom. 6 behind him. Yellow flags in the 2nd sector. This time it is... I've got no idea. Okay, fair enough. Back to the racing. We have got Pocho and Sully hounding Phantom for 5th place now. The strategy of trying to get Sully out of 3 seconds not working at all. Sully showing his great pace out there. Even when he's having a bad race. You still, yeah, really have to count him in and keep an eye on him always. He will just suddenly appear behind him on the car as if he's just teleporting to the back of him. Gabri dropping back from Bombardino quite significantly this lap. I think he's harvesting some EIS Nemesis also out of the Grand Prix now. Retiring in the pit lane. Had no hope of points, unfortunately, for him. Not the debut I think he would have wanted. Guga with the DRS now closing in on Gabri. But he's not got the ERS, he's too low on the charge. Gabri still he's wasting a lot of battery there, burning all the way down the straight. But he does hold on to P3 right now. Phantom, Pocho, Sully, all staying position, all keeping calm. At this point, PC will be winning by 10 seconds to Bombardier if you include the time penalty. Unbelievable stuff right now. 4 laps to go. And PC Wooly is so in control of this Grand Prix, it's not even funny. I think everybody else is having to really manage their tires now at the end of the Grand Prix. I think they all pitted a little bit too early on those hards and then noticing it's going to be difficult to make the end. Because, oh, you can see the wear on Gabri's tire. Just look at that front right. And the front left. And the rear left. Holy shit. That's not good. Guga. He goes for the move before the DRS zone. The detection point in the map is... okay. Just one of 3s actually. So I think Guga passed him. Yeah, Guga passed him after the DRS detection point. A smart move from Guga. Surprising Gabri. And getting DRS. He will be able to stay ahead this time, surely. Gabi is burning all the way down the straight, but he's too far away. He just wasted all his battery. But Guga with a mistake. Gabri, can he cut underneath him? Trying to switch back. And now with a run down towards Villeneuve. Gabri, what a move to get back to 3rd place. Saw the tiniest of mistakes from Guga, just getting a little bit loose. Coming through Tamburello. And Gabri immediately pounces on that and takes P3. Phantom, Pocho, Sully still in one train. Bazooka not catching Pop Dog at all. Yeah, if anything, he's fallen back. He's now 12 seconds earlier. It was 10. So Pop Dog will bring that 8 form. Bazooka will bring 9 form, pretty certain. Rival going on the chase for the fast lap now. Trying to get at least a bonus point for himself and for Red Bull. Phantom Fox is closing in on the cars ahead though, I think. Those 18 lap 1 hearts are really struggling now. The gap coming down quite rapidly from Guga to Phantom. But will they have enough laps to make anything happen? Well, Phantom and Sully have penalties. What about Pocho? Can Pocho get involved in that duel for the podium? Out of nowhere, he's been quite far behind. But now with the DRS to Phantom, if you can make the pass at the right moment, slingshot into the DRS of Guga and Gabri, and use the fact that he's got 1 lap fresher tires, which right now does seem to be quite a big difference. I think the tire wear is that touch and go with puncture territory. That this 1 lap advantage that Pocho has over Phantom and 2 laps over Guga and Gabri could come in very handy. But a little mistake there. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1 for Bazooka. Bazooka chasing after some points here. He had a spin. He's still in line, thankfully for him. The gap to Aussie quite big. So he stays where he was. Doesn't lose anything in terms of points. Only pride. Heading on to the last 2 laps of the Grand Prix. Viral with a 3-second time penalty now. Which will cost him, well, nothing. Guga is a bit far away from Gabri, I would say. And the same goes for Pocho to Phantom. Phantom not really closing in nearly as much as he did last lap. Bombardier now with another 3-second time penalty, but that will not cost him anything. The gap to Gabri, 11 seconds. 6 seconds doesn't really matter. Pocho closing in, up ahead as well. Guga with a move on Gabri, goes up the inside and takes P3. Pocho takes P5. And now the race is on because look at Guga and Gabri ahead, how much they're battling through the Tamburello and Pocho. Closing in now, all of a sudden it's a 3-way battle for the podium here. Gabri, Guga, Pocho. And we've seen Gabri and Guga battle quite hard these last couple of laps. Gabri has got so much ERS. Gabri's done a great job on the ERS management. Guga looking for a move in the middle sector. No, that's just wasted ERS. Aussie with a stop. for a fast lap attempt. One more lap to go, 1.5 laps to go here in Imola. Pisivoli miles ahead, Bobadinho miles ahead, but the battle for third, absolute cinema. We've got Gabri, we've got Guga, we've got Pocho, and then Phantom and Sully lurking behind. They've got time penalties. They will only benefit if there's a crash or anything like that. They will not get it on track. Gabri with so much ERS, he should be able to hold on, but Guga is pretty close, but he's not got a lot of charge left. Pocho is too far back to get involved right now. He couldn't stay close enough to the middle sector. Guga, with the low ERS he has, is he gonna have a run? Gabri, he will burn all the way down the straight. I think Guga will run out of ERS already, and I think that could cost him. Gabri, he's 3/10 clear. Guga is not closing in. Gabri will hold on to P3. Pocho, too far back also out of ERS. And unless Guga can find a way past somewhere in the middle sector, Gabri will bring home a crucial podium finish here. A P3, while Sully is on his way to P6. Yellow flags up ahead. Bobadinho! A puncture! Again! For Bobadinho on the last lap. He had this in Austria. On the last lap from P2. Bobadinho and Guga with the move on Gabri. What is going on? Another crash as well from Viral. Gabri held on against Guga. Bobadinho crawling. He's on the puncture. He's run out of fuel. There's no fuel left in the car. Pisivoli though, he comes through the last two corners to pick up a crucial win in the title fight. It's not over yet for the McLaren man. He comes over the line to celebrate. He wins by over 20 seconds and growing right now. Bobadinho crawling through the last sector. He's about to lose so many places as he runs out of fuel on the last lap. Gabri clears him. Guga gets past. Pocho up in the fourth. Phantom, Sully, they all fly past him. Bobadinho, he sees those points. Yeah. Coming out of his bank account into everybody else's. That's an absolute nightmare. Gabri with a crucial P2 for him as well, but 25 seconds behind Pisivoli. Guga gets a podium in the end. Pocho in fourth, then Sully in fifth, Phantom in sixth, Papdok 7. Bobadinho crawls home to P8. And another race for him. And an immediate rage quit. I could have guessed that. Where on the last lap he loses a P2. Last time around in Austria, it was with a puncture. This time around he runs out of fuel on the last lap. And Bazooka 9 for Bobadinho now with the rage quit before the results screen will get knocked down. But that will be fixed in the results, no problem. So yeah, Mihai rounds to the top 10. And then we've got Pix coming home for a P11. For P10 right now with Bobadinho, you know, he'll be moved back up to 8 where he should be. And Aussie finally finishes the race in P12. What a last lap we had there. A very, very nice duel for third. And yeah, Bobadinho, he always seems to provide us some last lap drama out of nowhere, which we weren't really expecting. But Pisivoli, unbelievable stuff. One of the most dominant performances I think we have seen in Division 2. Bobadinho went for the undercut on him, but well, I would say that the gap probably looks bigger than it would have been with Bobadinho having to fuel save so much and then still running out. But that's not something to take away from Pisivoli. It's not like he drove away 25 seconds on pure pace, but that doesn't make it any worse. It's just, yeah, unbelievable stuff really from Pisivoli. Just such a great drive, very well managed to perfection. The strategy absolutely nailed it, and a very, very well deserved race win. And there we have it once more. Pisivoli leads by 24.5 seconds to Gabri. Then Guga, Pocho, Sully, Phantom, Papdok, Bazooka, Mihai, Pix, Aussie, Bobadinho, who finishes in 8th. So yeah, then Mihai 10th, Pix, Aussie, Viral, Nemesis, Sean, and finally Owise, who crashed out on the first lap. That has been the Imola Grand Prix. Bonus point to Papdok, by the way, for the fast lap of the Grand Prix. And only the top 4 in the end without time penalties. So yeah, the track limits proving to be a struggle for our drivers today. That was good fun, I would say. I enjoyed that. Yeah, next week we're going to Brazil for the 100th ever Division 2 race. And we'll be celebrating that with a 100% race around Interlagos. So that should be really, really exciting. We had a 100% race as well, of course, earlier this season in Division 1 for the 250th Division 1 race in Silverstone. So yeah, this time it's Division Two's turn. We had Brazil as well back in the day for the 100th Division 1 race back on F1 2020? Season 6, I think it was. So yeah, that would have been 2020. Yeah, back then we did 2 seasons, and then 18 was 1 and 2, 19, 3 and 4, 20, 5 and 6. Checks out. Season 6 Brazil, that was race 100 for Division 1. Now we have race 100 for Division 2 in season 17, the 12th round in Brazil. And yeah, a thoroughly enjoyable Imola Grand Prix. I think that was well worth my time, well worth your time. I thank you for joining me for the stream. Thank you to the drivers for putting on such a good show. And yeah, we will see you on Saturday for the Imola Grand Prix in Division 1 as well. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Hope you have a nice evening, and goodbye.